Here are the two surprises I want and think we'll see in the Royal Rumble in just a few hours. For the women, I think we see Paige make her WWE return. I think Paige would be a great add to the women's division. She's been gone so long and hasn't crossed paths with almost 90% of the women on today's roster. Imagine Paige and Rhea Ripley together. Paige and AJ Lee back together. Paige and Io. Paige and Stephanie Vaquer. Paige and Liv Morgan. There's so much potential with Paige coming back to WWE, whether she goes to the IC division, the US division. Like, it'd be great. They need names like that, and Paige still has star power and name value. And I think a nice return for Paige in the Rumble would be awesome, and I do think we see it. For the men, man, it's an easy one, but Chris Jericho. Now, Chris Jericho had a great run in AEW, regardless of what anyone says. Was the learning tree great? No, it was terrible. But at some point, they didn't do anything with Jericho, right? They just left him to fight guys at the bottom of the card, and they wanted to pair him with guys like Big Bill and Brian Keith, and then, I don't know. They just didn't use him right the last 3 years or so that he was in AEW. Chris Jericho was still solid in the ring, still is solid in the ring, looks good for his age, especially lately. And I think Jericho coming back to WWE does a couple things. Number one, it tells you something is seriously wrong with AEW backstage. Jericho was making tons of money, had power, had some say in the company, was a day one guy in AEW, their first world champion, and he's leaving. Why? If everything was going smoothly, there's no way Jericho would be leaving, especially to actually wrestle. Jericho eventually probably would have went back to WWE to do something, Hall of Fame, etc. But he's going back to finish his wrestling career there, which is something a couple years ago you would have never thought. WWE now having Jericho, Punk, Cody, so many AEW people going over. It tells you something about AEW, man. That company, it doesn't even look like the same company that I used to love. Anyways, those are my two surprises, I think, and here's a special bonus one. I would love to see Jeff Hardy back, even if it's just a one and done. You know Saudi, you know they love the nostalgia. Jeff's been there before. Give me Jeff Hardy in the Rumble. It would be so much fun.